Welcome back to another episode of Real Reactions. I am sitting here today with Kitty Green, the director of the movie The Assistant, which is out in theaters now.
You're relatively new to the company.
I mean, I've been working here for nearly 2 months.
And you're under a lot of stress. Entry-level jobs in this industry are tough, right? Long hours? First one in, last one out.
Good night.
You're smart. You have to be smart. It's a tough job, but I can see that you've got what it takes.
Now, The Assistant follows the day in the life of an assistant to a movie production company named Jane. We see Jane go through, grueling tasks that really shouldn't be required of any assistant, but she realizes that something else is going on at the company. Can you give just a little bit of overview of what someone could expect going to see this movie?
Whoosh, you just summarized it well. I'm not sure
I tried to summarize it without giving away too much.
Yeah,
but.
I mean, it's a day in the life of the person, the youngest person, I guess, or the person with the least power on the desk of a predatory film executive. So it is kind of exploring kind of systems, I guess, a culture of silence surrounding these issues, systems like complicity and the kind of systems and structures that are built around these predators that kind of shut women out of power. Now,
your background, a lot is in documentary filmmaking, right? So did you kind of take a documentarian approach to this movie in the sense to bring it to life, to make it so realistic? Because it goes way more in detail than many movies would.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of my research is documentary in style. Like, I like to do a lot of in-depth research and a lot of interviews with people and try to figure out kind of the deep, not just kind of broad strokes, but details about people's lives and how they survive in environments like that. So yeah, there's a bit of it that comes from my documentary background, but yeah, I don't know. It is a fictional kind of narrative, so it's a very different beast, I guess.
Now, the character of the executive, I've seen him being most commonly compared to Harvey Weinstein. I know obviously that must have been a massive influence when writing this, but it's not a movie about Harvey Weinstein per se, just this type, right?
Yeah, it's not a movie about him at all, but it is, I mean, there is a figure like him who has similar behavior patterns, and I guess I was interested in exploring not the predator himself, but the system around him, the machinery around someone like that, how that kind of behavior is allowed to continue, who knows what, this kind of culture of complicity.
What's your plan?
Sorry?
Where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years?
Oh, I want to produce. I want to be a producer.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. We could use more women producers. It's a tough job, but I can see that you've got what it takes.
Thanks.
Did you receive or expect to receive any backlash when writing a movie about movie industry executives like this?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course you're going to get a bit of, it's going to make people a little uncomfortable, but I think discomfort's a good thing if we want anything to change. So yeah, I'm happy to kind of get a bunch of people in the film industry, like, ruffle their feathers, because, hopefully that will improve things moving forward.
But, I would imagine, I mean, we were talking about this earlier a little bit off camera, companies probably turn down the movie because of the contents, right?
I'd say so.
Yeah?
I mean, they don't tell you why they turn it down, but
right.
There's often women executives who love it, and then their male colleagues don't. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do think it made a few people uncomfortable, that's for sure.
Now, I thought this was interesting. I've heard you say that people still think you're the assistant. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, often people kind of will walk into a room and not assume I'm the director. They'll hand me a code or something, and I had like a male assistant who was 21 or something, and he was 6 feet tall, and everyone would assume he's in charge, and I was like, no, like I am, and it was difficult to kind of convince people that I was. So that was kind of part of my frustrations with that, and just seeing how kind of sexist some of the movie industry can be, I guess, was why I wanted to take the project on.
What?
This is turkey. I said chicken.
What is it?
The wife. Say he's in an important meeting.
No, say he's in screening.
Where is he? What did you say to him? What did you say? They told me you were smart.
I overreacted.
It was not my place to question your decision. I will not let you down again.
You know you can always come to us, right? Come to us first, okay?
Makes sense. Now, Julia Garner, absolutely perfect for the character of Jane. I imagine you probably had a lot of people reaching out to you, identifying with the experience in the movie, right?
Yeah, people seem to be connecting with her and her story and see themselves in her. And yeah, a lot of people kind of have come up and really kind of grabbed onto my arm and been like, wow, I haven't seen myself on screen before and she's me. So it's pretty wonderful that they're connecting with it in that
Sure.
way. Yeah.
Now, I'm curious about this. In the post Harvey Weinstein #MeToo era that we're living in right now, have you noticed any change in the industry as a woman in the industry since this stuff has happened?
I think it's getting better. I think it's basically it's going to take time, but I do see my female friends who are filmmakers getting more opportunities than they used to. So I do think there's more work around. I think people are more comfortable hiring a female director than they were before. Yeah, I think slowly they're figuring out that we can make movies too. So.
Right. All right. I'll ask you one last simple, easy question. What was the most exciting part of making this movie? I know it's one of those generic.
It's not the most exciting subject. It
right.
was really tough. We had a really lovely set, though. We had a great first AD, Annalisa, who ran our set really in a really kind of loving and warm way, and it was kind of nice to be around a community of people who understood what we were trying to achieve. And so I'd say even just going to work in the morning was kind of it was a joy because we had a good group. And
then so far it's been received pretty well. I mean, getting reviews from Rolling Stone and all of these different lists up here. I mean, these different outlets, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. People seem to be taking it seriously.
Right.
So it's a very quiet movie. It's not like, a Hollywood blockbuster. It's its own thing, and it's got a lot to say. So I'm glad that people are connecting with it.
Well, I enjoyed watching it a lot. It's out in theaters right now. Kitty Green, thank you so much.
Thanks
I appreciate
for having
it.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who was that?
That? Wasting my time.
Your mom and I were excited for you. It's a great opportunity.
What can we do?
Do about what?